to have you with us today. It's kind of a musical morning because later on, after the 10 o'clock news, the conductor of the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra, Farad Fukari, will be with us, along with attorney Carol Thomas, who has a relationship with the orchestra we'll be telling you about. At 11 o'clock, though, we will turn our attention to weddings because we will learn about a company called Bridal Bliss, I think it is. And we will learn about that. It's Bliss Bridal. I'm sorry, I had it backwards. Tamara, who owns it, will be here talking about an upcoming expo. And a little music for this hour, too, because 'tis the season when all the musical organizations put together their holiday programming, and such is the case with the Bay Concert Band. And returning for another visit, he hasn't learned his lesson yet. He is Nathan Snyder, the musical director, conductor of the Bay Concert Band. Hi, Nathan. Good morning.
Good morning, Art. Thank you so much for having me on this morning. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. You've been at it. You're the sixth conductor of the band, if I count right. There were 5 before you, I think.
I believe that is correct, yes.
The band's been around how long?
49 seasons. So next year we're getting ready to celebrate a big anniversary.
Yeah. You already got the programming done?
Not done, but we've already started planning some special things for next year, including a brand new piece of music that we're having written in honor of the band's 50th anniversary.
Oh, you have commissioned music.
We have commissioned music. It's pretty exciting.
With a local
No,
composer?
actually, it's not a local composer. He's from Texas. His name
No
is
kidding.
Gerard Hall. Yeah, but young guy, but he's doing great stuff in the band world. So he was kind of our unanimous choice amongst the board members too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So, as I mentioned, I mean, every musical organization in the world at this time of the year does a Christmas program, and I have a feeling the Bay Concert Band is not being left out.
That is correct. We are participating in the holiday season just like everybody else is.
And you'll be doing that this Sunday, if I'm not mistaken,
That's
right?
correct. It's in 2 days, this Sunday at 3 o'clock at Bay City Central High School.
And if I looked at your program, would I say, yep, it's Christmas?
Yeah, you definitely would.
So
You
give us
definitely would. Some of the titles don't necessarily say like Christmas in the title, but pretty much all of the music you would recognize the Christmas carols and Christmas songs.
So give us a rundown. Let's take a look at the first half. I do it 2 parts?
Yeah, we always take an intermission, give everybody a chance to stretch their legs halfway through. But the first half, we have 4 very nice pieces on the first half. We actually started off with a newer piece by the same composer that we're commissioning to write our 50th anniversary, Gerard Hall. It's called Toboggan, and it is the musical depiction, if you could picture yourself as a little kid, when you'd first see that snow start to come down, and you knew that tomorrow might be a snow day, and you watch that snow fall, and the anticipation builds, and you find out that there's a snow day the next day, and all the kids bring their sleds out to the big sled hill, and they have their sled races. And that's what this song is about. So it's a nice little way to kick off the concert with some anticipation and some excitement about snow. I know in Michigan we get a little tired of the snow every once in a while because we've already had some. But
Yeah, I was a little less excited this time.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So a great fun way to kick off the program. Really neat piece. Then we move into something that's based on God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. It's an ancient carol variation. God Rest You Merry Gentlemen has been around for several hundred years in different iterations. And so this is a nice treatment of that. You'll get to hear it played in a little bit slower of a style, and then you get a little fast rhythmic style that comes along at the end and kind of, takes the excitement level of God Rest You Merry Gentlemen up just a little bit. Lots of percussion gets featured in that piece. There's a lot of good percussion parts in this concert. After that, we will slow it down a little bit. We're playing a piece of music based on actually a vocal setting. It's the text is talking about the birth of Jesus and how it was witnessed by the animals, and that's really all who was there at that at that time to witness that. It's entitled O Magnum Mysterium, and it's a very well-known piece of choral music that was around in the 90s. I was actually a college student at the end of the 90s and early 2000s, and it was everywhere. Every choir concert we attended, every band concert we attended, we heard this piece. It was very well known.
So the obvious question is, do you have vocals?
No, this arrangement does not have vocals since we are an instrumental group, so it's an arrangement of the vocal piece that we will play. And then we finished the first half with a piece entitled The Eighth Candle. Now, if you hear that, you might say, that doesn't quite sound Christmassy.
I'd say Hanukkah.
Yes, you are correct. It is a Hanukkah piece. It does not use specific Hanukkah songs. It is a tribute to the time of Hanukkah and the meaning of the candles. It's a prayer and a dance. It's a really, really beautiful piece. Two sections to it, a slower part at the beginning, which is the prayer, and then we get into a faster section, which is the dance. But that one has a lot of percussion in it as well. Great percussion feature for them. Been a really fun piece to work with and put together with the group.
Okay, now repeat after me. Hanukkah.
Hanukkah. That's right. I know. My pronunciation is very bad. People always give me grief about my terrible pronunciation.
Hanukkah is what's accepted, but
yeah.
in my world, it was Hanukkah.
Yes.
They had the
Yes, that is correct. That is correct.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's a pretty adventuresome first half. It's because you're doing so many pieces that, on one hand, are not the typical familiar. On the other hand, we'll recognize them when we hear them.
Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of taking those songs that are familiar to us and putting a little bit of a twist on them or a spin on them, a chance to hear them in a different way, so that they, just hearing them exactly the same way all the time.
Just out of curiosity, Nathan, when you sit down to put on a program, do you start with piece number one and then find successive pieces? Or do you have a whole bunch of music in mind and you move them around like chess pieces just to put them where you want them?
Honestly, it's kind of a combination of the two. This year, one of the big things I wanted to do was look through the band's library, which contains roughly 1,000 pieces of music.
And these are owned pieces that you've already paid and bought.
That is correct. These are pieces that the band owns. And I looked through them and found pieces that the band had never played. They own them, but they had never played them for some reason. And I said, I want to start making sure that we use this music that we own, that we're taking the time to play these pieces. So a lot of the concerts this season, I started with that. I picked one or two pieces that the band owns that we'd never played before. I put them on that program, and then I built around them.
No, and it's more economically beneficial to the band.
Well, yeah, it is.
Buy music.
That's true. But, I thought, we own these pieces, and there's a lot of really great music that the band owns. And I said, I don't know why they never played it before. Maybe somebody donated it and they just didn't have a chance, or they bought a whole bunch of music and they tried things out and they said, well, this one's not going to work for now, and it got put in the drawer and forgotten about.
So let me ask you this. How much of what goes into a concert is based on the musical taste of the conductor versus what the conductor thinks the public will like? Because I would imagine every one of you music directors look at it differently.
I think so. I think also my programming concept has changed over the years. I used to program a lot heavier than what I currently do. And as I have progressed in my time working with community bands, I have seen the benefit of making sure we have a balance in our program. So I really try to make sure that on most concerts, half of our programming is what I would consider more of your standard concert band music specifically written for concert band, that may not be as familiar to everybody in the audience, but I'm trying to get them familiar with it. And then about half of it is stuff that's very recognizable. We do movie music. We play marches that a lot of people know. And even if they don't know the marches specifically, marches are always a big hit with the audience.
It's not a pure pops concert, but it's pushing it.
Right. So like I said, we're kind of half and half. You know, we have half of the more straight-laced stuff and then kind of half of our little bit more pop style.
Talking to Nathan Snyder, musical director, conductor of the Bay Concert Band. We'll take a break, come back, tell you more. Their concert is this Sunday, 3 o'clock at Bay City Central High School, and we'll give you all the details when we return.
Hi, I'm Katie.
Plus a few guests who play flute from other sections, too.
Oh.
They're going to actually play a couple of tunes, What Child Is This and Patapan as a flute group. If you've never seen a bass flute, this would be your chance.
I've never seen it. I never know there was such a thing.
There is such a thing.
Flute.
You actually can see two of them because there are two members of the flute choir that own bass flutes, and they are going to play them as part of the group. It's large enough that it actually has to curve around at the top head joint before it can go out to the keys.
Me?
Yeah. It's not the biggest flute either. There are larger ones that actually rest on the floor.
Call those Alphorns.
Yeah. They look a little bit like those. They're pretty big. And then the rest of the band comes back on stage after that, and we kick things off with a very traditional Leroy Anderson A Christmas Festival. It's one that is played a lot.
Over and over and over
Exactly.
again.
But it's so well known, and it really gets people in the mood. The band loves playing it. I think they love playing it for two reasons. One, it's one that they know, so they can sit down and play through it pretty much without a whole lot of consternation. And they enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It has good parts for everybody. It gives them all a chance to play some melody and do something really nice. And it's a great way to kick off the second half. From there, we go to what I think might be one of my favorite pieces on the entire program. It's entitled Minor Alterations Number 2. It's the second one in a series. And Minor Alterations is if you took Christmas and Halloween and put them together in a blender and mixed it up.
You'd have a scary musical show.
Exactly. What would you get? So it's taking traditional Christmas carols and Christmas songs and putting them in minor keys, which makes them sound a little bit spooky and creepy.
Interesting.
And the composer mixes them together with some other songs that people would know, like the Funeral March of the Marionettes, or Paul Dukas, The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
So by doing that, putting all of this in minor keys, does that make it difficult for the players who may be used to playing this music in its normal fashion?
Yeah, it does. Because there's a lot of times where they go, that note sounds a little bit odd. Is that right? Yes, it's right. It's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be a little bit odd. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun to get. There's some Ride of the Valkyries in there with O Tannenbaum. So a lot of really fun stuff in that piece. It gives you a different perspective on listening to some of those Christmas carols. Yeah. Then, because I know how much you love a march and how much our audience loves a march, we are playing the Stars and Stripes for Christmas.
How is that different from the Stars and Stripes Forever?
Because it has Christmas music mixed in with the Stars and Stripes
really?
Forever. Yes, it has Jingle Bells, Angels We Have Heard on High, the Hallelujah Chorus, and We Wish You a Merry Christmas, all mixed in with the Stars and Stripes Forever. It makes for a very interesting piece of music. It's funny because as you listen to it, all the different sections, you will hear, oh yeah, I hear some Stars and Stripes, and oh yeah, there's some Christmas music playing along with it. So In the band world, we are nothing if not creative when it comes to putting together our Christmas and holiday concerts so that we
Yep.
can have a fun mix of different things that everybody knows. Then we're going to have some audience participation. We love to do that at Christmas time. We're going to have a sing-along. Two of our members are lovely vocalists, and they're going to help the audience sing along with some of the classics like Jingle Bells and Deck the Halls and Silent Night. And finish out with We Wish You a Merry Christmas. And then at the end of the program, we are going to play another Leroy Anderson classic, Sleigh Ride.
I was going to say, I was waiting to hear that because my question would have been if I didn't hear it, is it part of the Leroy Anderson piece? Because one way or another, you're going to play Sleigh Ride.
Yes, you are. You're going to play Sleigh Ride. It is so well known and it's ubiquitous with the Christmas time of year that Sleigh Ride is played at many band and even orchestra concerts.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to a Christmas concert where it was not played.
Yeah, probably not. It would be, you'd be hard pressed to find one where they didn't play it.
Is that your concluding piece?
That is our concluding piece. It's a great way to send everybody off. They're they have a pep in their step and they're very happy and they're ready to go out and be in a good mood for the holiday season.
So how long typically will this concert last?
The concert should last roughly an hour and a half, so it'll be run from about 3 until 4:30. That includes the intermission time. We like to try to keep things moving along. We have our great MC, Greg Bovid, who introduces our pieces. He tells the audience a little bit about the composer and the piece, and then we jump right into it and we get going. So we like to keep things moving, and that's good because that way the audience doesn't get too restless, and the kids that are there, they're ready to go after an hour and a half. They don't want to be there anymore. So,
all right, we'll take a break. Be back with Nathan Snyder, the musical director and conductor of the Bay Concert Band. Their concert this Sunday. We'll tell you more about it.
I'm attorney Jerry Reif, and
let's play something more Christmassy. Little Mannheim Steamroller. The thing with Mannheim Steamroller, Nathan, we're talking to Nathan Snyder, musical director, conductor of the Bay Concert Band. Everybody wants to play Mannheim Steamroller, but you can never make it sound like Mannheim Steamroller.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, well, there's a lot of electronic instruments.
There is, and that's the thing about it. There's a lot of electronics used, but it's become classic in a way.
Oh, it really has. Yeah, a lot of fun. People really love Mannheim Steamroller. Good time.
So the concert is this Sunday, 3 o'clock. We haven't talked about the charge, which is so exorbitant.
We don't think so. We think it's a pretty affordable deal.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So admission is $10. We take cash or credit card. We have finally made it into the 21st century.
Wow.
We take credit cards now. Actually, we did that last year, so we've been doing that for a while now. Students and kids who are in 6th grade or younger are free. So we encourage people, please bring your children. We want to have kids there.
Well, they're the audience of the future. I mean, you almost have to have them.
They are. Not only the audience of the future, but we hope that they like listening to the music and maybe decide at some point they want to play an instrument. And it doesn't have to be a band instrument. It can be an orchestra instrument too, or it can be the piano or guitar or anything like that. But we just hope that those kids see the benefit of making music together and it can last a lifetime.
And for those that don't know, when we separate band and orchestra instruments, pretty much take away the strings and you have a band.
That's correct. You take away the strings and usually you make the sections bigger. Now, one thing we do have that an orchestra typically doesn't is we have a saxophone section.
Right.
So you take away the strings, you add a saxophone section, and you add some euphoniums, which look like kind of like mini tubas.
Yeah.
They're in the same range as a trombone, and that's how you have a band.
And percussion is percussion.
Yeah, percussion
Beat
is
on
percussion.
something one way or another.
Yes.
I raised 2 of those.
We say, here's some sticks. Go hit something. We'll try to make it sound good. No, I'm kidding. The percussion section is great. We love the percussion section in the Bay Concert Band.
Lived until you had Gretsch and Yamaha 1 year Gretchen and Ludwig opposite each other in the basement.
Yeah, exactly. competing drum products.
Yeah.
Both good products, though.
So, but it stead them well. I mean, my one young son was in a group for quite a long time, a very good group, and my older son was a rudimentalist, and he marched snare with the Cavaliers Drum and Bugle Corps out of Rosemont, Illinois.
Yep.
So it was. I mean, and that was they weren't athletic. They weren't sports minded. They were in music sports.
Yes.
In fact, they both marched in drum corps.
Yes, exactly.
So, and yeah, I used to laugh because the jocks, the sports types, always thought, "Oh, music." You go watch a drum corps rehearsal sometime.
Yeah.
See if you could do it.
Yeah, it's very serious.
It's serious and it's exhausting.
Very much so. Yeah, 12-hour days.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was ridiculous, the amount, and then the travel and everything else.
Yep. Yeah.
So, but I think music is an important part of young people's lives.
It really is.
When you think about music, you have to think about math.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything is in fractions.
Yep.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
Following direction.
Exactly.
You need all of those things you learn when you're involved in music.
You do. And I think to me, what is probably the best thing about band is everybody in the band is a contributor. No one quote unquote sits the bench in the band.
Yeah.
Everybody that's there
They have a part.
has an instrument in their hand, and they are part of the sound. And so they have to be able to do it, because there's a great video I've seen of a conductor. He's doing a guest conducting spot with like an honor band or something. And he talks about, you have a baseball player. They're considered a really good hitter if they hit 300, which is getting on base 3 out of every 10 times they hit the ball. He said, we're going to play the first 8 measures of this piece of music, and I've told the kids to make one mistake somewhere in these 8 measures, just one per kid. And they play it, and it sounds horrendous. It's the most awful thing you've ever heard. And he said, now we'll play it as it's written. And he's showing that every person is a contributor, and everybody has to be prepared and ready to be part of it.
It's interesting because you would think with the cacophony of sound that comes out of a band, you could lose one note, you could lose one person, but you can't.
No, you really can't. You really can't.
It stands out.
Yeah, it does. It does. You've got to have everybody prepared and focused and ready to go.
You wouldn't have had to teach me to do that. I did it naturally. I was actually a kid, but I played clarinet when I was in high school.
Yep.
And, through elementary, junior high, and high. And I was first chair in the New York City-wide orchestra for students. So I did all right. But
yeah,
one of my biggest regrets is not continuing.
Yeah, and that's a lot. I hear a lot of people say that, but the good news is
I still have it, but I haven't used it in years.
Well, it's never too late, Art. You can always get it out.
Well, that's true. In a way, that is true. I think I told you the story. Leo Najjar, who used to conduct the Saginaw Symphony, had a stint with the Bay Concert Band and then at Bijou Orchestra, was a friend. And it was his birthday one year, and he was living in Ann Arbor at the time. So I called him when I knew he wasn't home. Took out my clarinet with an old dry reed that I found. And I squeaked the worst version of Happy Birthday you ever heard in your life. And hung up. He knew it was.
Uh-huh.
A year later, my wife threw a birthday party for me at home. And Leo was among the invited guests. He said, "Oh, I got a gift for you. I had the orchestra do something for you." So he handed me a cassette, put it in the cassette player, pushed the button. He had recorded and saved my call to him, which he gave back to me.
He regifted your own.
He regifted me.
Your own
and
clarinet.
I realized just how bad it was. We're going to take a break, come back with one final segment with Nathan Snyder, the musical director and conductor of the Bay Concert Band. Let me take a moment to talk about my friends at Quick Lane Freeland on the McDonald Ford property, because they are all one big company. Quick Lane Freeland is where you think about tires, because they sell all their tires at just $5 over cost. no matter what the tire. $5 over cost. And you may be asking yourself, well, with winter here and winter driving, is there a difference between winter tires and everyday tires? The answer is yes, and I've asked John from Quick Lane Freeland to explain why.
Hello, Art. Yes, winter tires are made with a pliable rubber compound that includes silica to stay flexible and maintain grip in freezing temperatures, unlike harder all-season tires which stiffen and lose traction in the cold. This flexible compound allows the tire to better conform to the road surface, providing superior grip and traction on snow and ice to keep you safe.
Thanks, John. Stop into Quick Lane Freeland today. Have them check your tires. Also have them check your cooling system because, winter's here. Cooling systems are important. They call it a cooling system, but it has to do with how much heat you get in your car. While you're there, walk over to the McDonald Ford lot, take a look at all the new Fords and their extensive lineup of pre-owned vehicles. McDonald Ford and Quick Lane Freeland, two names standing ready to help you with all your automotive needs.
It's a joy to watch your kids.
All right, we're back with you. Just out of curiosity, I was talking to Nathan during the break here about the various bands, including the Eddie Band. You played with them. You've played with a number, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I played with the Eddie Band. I played with a lot of groups around this area, so I like to get around.
You play?
The clarinet and the bass clarinet.
That's right. I forgot you were one of me.
That's right, just like you are.
No, not just like me. You're far better than me.
Maybe I can call you and leave you a happy birthday message next time.
Maybe you can give me some lessons.
There you go. And then you can come join the band.
It's funny, though. I thought about that. Just because, when you get to my eye, I'm 82, you start thinking about things you did as a kid.
Yep.
And I said, what would it be like to learn again? I know the fingering, but I don't know what the notes are. I can't read the music anymore.
Okay.
So I'd have to learn to read where's the C. Oh, that's the C right there,
Yep.
And then I could, remember the fingering.
Yep. I think it would come back to you faster than you think it would.
It probably would.
Yeah.
It's in a little ways. It's like, riding a bike.
Yep. Exactly. It might be a little rusty, but you'd get it back.
Except if I fall off the bike, I injure me.
True.
If I screw up the music, I injure you.
But not physically, so that's okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So the concert Sunday, and you play where? At the Bay City Central Auditorium?
We play in the Bay City Central Auditorium. There's plenty of street parking on the street right outside the school.
Columbus?
That's Columbus. Thank you. Columbus Avenue. Or you can park in the back of the school in the parking lot and walk through the school to get to the auditorium.
And it starts
at 3 o'clock.
Doors open.
The doors will open at 2:30, and it's $10 at the door. You can pay with cash or credit.
First come, first service.
Yep.
Seating, right?
Yep. First come, first serve. General admission, and students 6th grade and under are free. So please bring your kids. We want them there. We love kids.
How often do you turn musicians over? I mean, as they leave and come, you always adding new ones?
Yeah, there's typically a couple new people that come every concert cycle. If new people want to join the band, usually we ask them to wait until the start of the next concert cycle, and then they can get in there and rehearse the music from the beginning.
How many do you normally play in a band? What's your size?
Right now, the band is around 75 people.
That's typical then for a stage band.
Yeah, that's a very good-sized group.
Yep.
I think when I took over, they were somewhere in the 50s, so we've grown a little bit in the last 3 years, which is
Good.
Great. I love it, and we're always, looking for new members, especially young members. If you're a young person and you think I don't know what to do with my instrument, come play in the Bay Concert Band or join whatever local concert band is near you.
Or if you're an old person and I don't know what to do with my instrument,
You can do that too. That's exactly
I can bring
right.
the clarinet and sit there and look like I'm playing.
Yeah,
No.
we welcome everybody.
Nathan, as always, great to be with you.
It was
Thanks.
great to be here. Thank you so much, Art.
You betcha. Bay Concert Band this Sunday, 3 o'clock, Bay Central High School. $10 for a great Christmas concert. Stop in and enjoy the afternoon.
Shop and save and